survivors of the simian plague trigger an all-out war between humanity and Caesar's growing forces. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was a five-star movie for me. I loved Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It was done so well, so good. This film here, the follow-up, it takes place, I believe, eight or 10 years after the last film, where the plague is really hit and it's pretty much wiped out a lot of humanity. And Caesar, of course, the main ape, has gathered his troops and they're ready to go and they're fighting this war. And so far, we only have one little teaser trailer for this, and it definitely teased the hell out of me. I can't wait to see a full trailer. And what can I say, man? I'm super, super stoked for this. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes at number 5. Number 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker runs the gauntlet as a mysterious company, Oscorp, sends up a slew of supervillains against him, impacting on his life. Once again directed by Mark Webb, starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx, and Paul Giamatti. This looks great. Spider-Man 2 looks better than the first film, and I really love the reboot. The reboot was the first film I saw as a married man, so holds a little special place in my heart. This is the first film. This comes out Friday. This is the first film of the summer that's going to kick everything off on May 2nd, and I will be seeing it this weekend, so I'll have a review on the next episode. What can I say? It looks great. Not much more I can say about it. Comes in at number 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Coming in at number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yep, Guardians of the Galaxy starring Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista. In the far reaches of space, an American pilot named Peter Quill finds himself the object of a manhunt after stealing an orb coveted by the villainous Ronin. This, of course, is the new Marvel film that comes out in August. It's really off the beaten path. It is included in the cinematic universe, but it takes place pretty much 99% all in space. And I love the first trailer for this film. It looks like it's going to have some great humor to it, awesome action, and I applaud Marvel for really taking a risk with this one. I think it's going to pay off. So this looks great to me. I love everybody involved. Guardians of the Galaxy at number 3. Number 2. And I gotta tell you, man, my number 2 and my number 1, so close. So close. You could really flip a coin on it. So number 2, I landed on X-Men Days of Future Past. I've been looking forward to this movie for so long. This is almost like an Avengers type film for X-Men fans, because you're getting the First Class crew, you're getting the original trilogy crew, all together in the same film. And that's something that's pretty damn special. And everything I've seen from this film looks so amazing. I mean, beyond amazing. The way that they've blurred the lines here. The X-Men send Wolverine to the past in a desperate effort to change history and prevent an event that results in doom for both humans and mutants. Of course, they send Wolverine back to stop the Sentinels, which pretty much wipe out all the mutants in the future. This, of course, is setting up for X-Men Apocalypse that will come out in 2016. So good. This just looks so amazing, and for a lot of people, this is the most anticipated film of the summer. And like I said, for me, it really is a flip of a coin. Tonight, I say it's not. Tomorrow, I could say it is. I think it's going to be one of the best movies of the summer. But I landed it at number 2. But I'm super stoked for this. It comes out in just about a month. And my number 1, Transformers: Age of Extinction. An automobile mechanic and his daughter make a discovery that brings down the Autobots and Decepticons and a paranoid government official on them. This time starring Mark Wahlberg. What can you say, man? For a lot of people, this Transformers is going to be kind of on the bubble for them, because this franchise has been kind of hit and miss for some people. Some people just absolutely love it, like me, and other people are kind of hit and miss. Some people like the first one, but they don't like the other ones, like whatever the case may be. I'm a big fan of this trilogy. First film is one of the best films ever. To me, it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I love the original Transformers. Second one for me is really, really good. Third one is really, really good as well. I love it as a trilogy. I think they're great action films. I like that they took a little break, and I love the fact that this one here, allows them to kind of reboot, but not reboot, and continue just several years after the events of the third film, and kind of take a different approach. You know, switch up the humans that they deal with, bring in Mark Wahlberg, no more Shia LaBeouf. You know, I like the mix that they're doing. I like the redesigns of the vehicles. They brought in Dinobots. I mean, come on, Grimlock, Optimus Prime riding on Grimlock. How can you say any other movie is better than this when it comes down to your top movies of the summer? This just looks so good. Directed by Michael Bay once again. The guy knows his action. Rip on him all you want, but nobody does an action film like Michael Bay. And yeah, there's only one trailer out so far for this, but I love it. So yeah, kind of a no-brainer for me just because I'm such a big fan of the franchise. So easily for me, I'm way excited to see how Transformers: Age of Extinction plays out to make it my number one film. Whew. All right. Well, that's a hell of a list right there. And I hope that helped you guys out, kind of figuring out what you want to do this summer. I'm going to run it down again real quick with no explanation, just the way it ranked out. 25, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. 24, Blended. 23, Maleficent. 22, Deliver Us from Evil. 21, The Signal. 20, Into the Storm. 19, Lucy. 18, Tammy. 17, The Purge Anarchy. 16, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 15, Jupiter Ascending. 14, Hercules. 13, Sex Tape. 12 is A Million Ways to Die in the West. 11 is Let's Be Cops. 10 is Neighbors. 9 is Edge of Tomorrow. 8 is The Expendables 3. 7 is 22 Jump Street. 6 is Godzilla. Number 5 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Number 4 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 2 is X-Men Days of Future Past. And number 1, Transformers: Age of Extinction. There you have it, my friends. My most anticipated summer movies of 2014. And now I really need to take a drink again. Hold on. That left me parched. Alright. Let's now run down the news of the week as fluidly and quickly as we can. A new trailer released this week is House of Dust. You can see that over on the Facebook page. Speaking of X-Men, Patrick Stewart was interviewed recently and he teased another potential return in X-Men Apocalypse. So that was kind of interesting because they've already announced that X-Men Apocalypse will be primarily the first class crew. So there wasn't really any need for the original trilogy guys to come back. But Patrick Stewart is making it sound like he may be popping up in Apocalypse. I would love to see it. I love Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, so I'll take it. Hayden Panettiere looks like she is not returning for Heroes Reborn. Several months ago, I reported that they're bringing Heroes back next year as a miniseries, and I was wondering, are they going to get a whole new cast? Or are they going to try to bring people back? Haven't heard too much on that front until last week when the news came out about Hayden, saying at this point it doesn't look like she's returning. So that kind of sucks because the show kind of revolved around Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, right? She was the cheerleader, so that kind of sucks. Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight might actually still happen, just with a new ending. This was the script that got leaked a couple months back on the internet, and after it got leaked, Quentin said, "Nope, that's it. I'm not doing this movie anymore." Well, he's had a couple months to chill out about it, and now he's kind of at a point where he's like, I'm thinking about maybe still doing this film, and I'll just change the ending of the film so people don't know what's coming. So I know a lot of people are excited about it. This is a Western, so I'm not too stoked on it because I don't like Western movies, but I'm glad that he's going through with a project that he was super happy about, and just needs to twist the ending up a little bit, so good for him. Simon Kinberg, who's working on the new Fantastic Four, says that the new rebooted Fantastic Four is a coming-of-age story. I don't know what to really even take from that statement, because that sounds like typical producer kind of mumbo-jumbo. Of course it's a coming-of-age story, whatever. Paul W.S. Anderson updates us on Resident Evil 6. It is going to finally start happening here soon. The film was originally supposed to come out in September of this year. No way that that's happening anymore. They haven't even started filming. They don't even have a script yet. So, but Paul said that they are working on the script right now, and they will hopefully start filming by the end of the year, and it should come out in 2015. So, Resident Evil 6 is on the way. Um, it's really funny on the TV right now. I have it muted, but there's a movie on called Big Ass Spider. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's super super cheesy. And it's funny because I'm talking to you guys, and every time I look up at the television, there's some big cheesy, CGI looking spider stabbing somebody or spitting goo in people's faces, and it just looks so cheesy. But anyway, I digress. Danny Boyle's in talks to direct the new Steve Jobs film, and he's looking to add Leonardo DiCaprio to the film as Jobs. Now, this was, they were looking at David Fincher to do this. They really wanted Christian Bale to be Jobs, and then David Fincher dropped out from what it sounds like is a money issue. Like he just didn't want to do it for the fee that they gave him. Now they're saying that Danny Boyle's in negotiations, and according to Danny Boyle, his first choice for the role would be Leo. So we'll see what happens there. Veep, Silicon Valley, both of those shows have been renewed over at HBO. So congratulations to them. Tom Hanks is attached to a new Cold War thriller, and Steven Spielberg is actually in negotiations to possibly direct it. So very cool there. John Turturro has replaced Robert De Niro in HBO's new James Gandolfini mini Criminal Justice. So to really break that down, because that was a lot there, HBO is doing a new miniseries called Criminal Justice. It was to star James Gandolfini, but then James passed away, unfortunately. Then Robert De Niro stepped in to take over the role. And now it looks like Robert's not going to do it, and John Turturro has stepped in to take over the role. So, lots of changes on that front. But that's the latest. John Turturro stepping in on Criminal Justice. I'm not going to get too much into the story, but it was weird enough that we posted it on the site this week. Ice Road Truckers driver allegedly kidnapped, beat, and threatened to kill a Vegas prostitute. I am not making this up. If you like the full story, head on over to our Facebook page or Twitter stream and see that. Our first Everything Wrong With this week that we have is Everything Wrong With Spider-Man in 11 minutes or less. We also have Everything Wrong With Spider-Man 2 as well. So, very, very exciting stuff. They were both really, really good. So, Everything Wrong With Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, not Amazing Spider-Man, I'm sorry. The Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 1 and 2. Those are up on the page. Vazel actually tweeted out a really cool photo from the Fast and Furious 7 production this week, with him on set with Paul Walker's two brothers. As we reported, his brothers have stepped in and they're doing, like stand-in shots, and they're doing a lot of background shots, stuff like that, to replace Paul Walker. And it was just a pretty cool, sweet picture to see Vin on set talking to the two brothers. I think it's really cool that they're bringing the brothers in like that. The guys, Simon Kinberg and the guys over at Disney stated this week for the record that the new Star Wars films are not going to draw from the expanded universe. What that means for a lot of people is, of course, after the Return of the Jedi, there's a lot of books and games and all this kind of stuff that they consider expanded universe that, continued the story and continued to tell the story of all these characters that we've grown to know and love. And so they were just stating for the record that the new films are not going to pull from that expanded universe. They're going to do their own thing. So if you were hoping for some kind of villains or anything like that out of the expanded universe, don't. Cameras are officially rolling on Terminator Genisys now, so that is awesome. It's always very cool to see when a movie we've been talking about actually starts filming and it starts to become real. So very cool there. Jerry Bruckheimer, producer extraordinaire, talked this week about Bad Boys 3 and National Treasure 3. He says they want to make both films, and with Bad Boys, it's really just a matter of timing. He says they're working on a script, but the biggest issue is Will Smith